I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Wednesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. I'm an adult. I found that out yesterday when I got an email from the fine folks at Scotiabank telling me that I made my final car payment.
Oh, that's a big accomplishment. That deserves a round of applause.
Thank you. I felt really good about that yesterday. Like I had made the payment. I'm not great at like keeping track of that sort of thing. Automatic payments sort of take your brain away from it. Like I just know that every couple weeks, this amount of money leaves my bank account. And then all of a sudden I get the email from the bank, from the loan company, and they're like, you're good, you're free, we release you. And I was like, oh, I did it.
It's funny because paying off something does give you that, like, I'm an adulting kind of feeling. But also when you just get bills in general, that's when it kind of sets you back no matter like what age you are. And you're like, oh, this sucks.
The two sides of the coin. Yeah, like even, when I was old enough to have my own cell phone, but my folks were still like helping me in college with like some of my bills and stuff like that. It was that two-sided, like, I'm still just a kid. Mom and dad are still sending me money. But then the Rogers bill comes in and I'm like, oh my God, I have to pay for that?
Dude, I think one of the first eye-openers was when I first used my first tax refund to pay for bills.
Instead of just using it to buy like something silly.
Being like, this is beer money.
Yeah. The first time that you have to make a purchase because it's like, I'm coming into money for whatever reason, but I need to keep my household operating, so this is not as fun as I wanted it to be.
There's some differences of like when you're younger versus when you're older where you get that pursuit of happiness. I'm an adult now. Because like, when you get your license when you're younger, you feel like an adult.
Honestly.
But then once you start making payments and stuff, but it's also like once you start living by yourself, you start cooking for yourself, doing your own laundry. I think one of the first ones for me, like when I was 20, was I booked my first doctor's appointment.
Ooh, yeah. And then you got to do all the talking to the doctor. Like the doctor asks questions and you don't just get to look at your mom and be like, well, the man's talking to you.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're responsible for providing all of your information.
The same week that I booked my first doctor's appointment when I was 20, my grandma called me and also told me, you're not getting any more Christmas money.
Oh, God.
And that was an eye-opener where it was like, damn, this is the beginning of the end, isn't it?
Right? There are these moments where you feel really grown up because of the freedom that you have or the abilities that you have as an independent person. And then there are those other moments that are just the shackles of society.
All of a sudden you stop getting ID'd places and you're like, I'm old.
That was a tough one. When they stopped asking me for ID when I would go to buy cigarettes at the gas station or the corner store. I remember walking out to my car and being like, well, maybe it's just that my beard looks really good today.
Dude, I went to buy a pack of smokes the other day and I saw at the front and it's like, must be born after 2007. And I was like,
oh, gross.
Oh, God.
Yuck.
Oh, God.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What really makes me feel like an adult is eating whatever I want, whenever I want. Even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning,
Yep.
I can have pancakes and candy and cake for supper. and nobody can say anything to me.
He sounds like a mad scientist there with that.
It's the realization that you can buy a cake at any time and it doesn't have to be for a celebration.
Just randomly on the weekend, Mallory and I got the urge to try that viral thing where you use a pre-boxed cake and just add a pop to it instead of like eggs and stuff. Made 2 cakes. I had one before the show the other day. I was just like, oh, these are still here. Eh?
Yeah.
And then I went to work.
And then also being an adult is realizing that you're just getting fat.
Right. That's the thing is I can eat cake anytime
But you
I
can't
want.
eat like you used to.
I can eat cake anytime I want, and that's why once a week I have to take Ozempic.
Being an adult is realizing you don't have a metabolism anymore.
It's not what it used to be, brother.
I do like Ashley's text in here at 762-555. She said, the first time I was ever part of a meeting at an office, I felt like an adult.
Dude, you feel so out of place. I remember, in my early 20s, my first radio station job, and I'm like an intern, and all the suits are there, and they're talking about finances and the direction of the company. And I'm in like a band t-shirt wearing sweatbands on my wrist, just like,
I think it makes you feel like you're a big deal. Like you're like, I'm finally doing adult stuff now.
I belong.
And then the longer it gets on, you're like, oh, I hate this stuff so much.
It wears off real quick.
Adam said getting a Costco membership.
Yes. Oh my God. When I didn't have to call up like a relative or a friend or a friend's relative to take me to Costco and I could just go on my own, you walk so much more upright those first few times.
We've got the legend on the phone, Ed from the county on the line. Ed, what's something that makes you feel like the pursuit of happiness? I'm an adult now.
Well, I'm getting closer to it as I'm about to hit another milestone birthday.
Like, what's your milestone that's coming up, Ed?
I'm about to turn 55 on Friday.
You know, I think the realization for you that you're an adult now is you can get that senior's discount at Shoppers Drug Mart now, Ed.
Ooh-wee.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to remind myself.
If only they had one at the beer store, eh?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. That'd be set for life.
You know, signs that you're getting old. It's the Shoppers Drug Mart discount, and it's also just like how your body feels.
I don't even want to go there.
That's true. There is nothing quite reminds me that I'm an adult. Like when I wake up from 8 hours of sleep, like I just got out of a car accident.
Yeah.
Things don't work like they used to. You start needing pills for everything.
Well, that hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it doesn't.
I'm a senior now.
I need my eggs.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Take me out to the ball game.
Opening day is going down for Major League Baseball. I mean, the Jays don't play until Friday, but they got that Netflix game going down tonight.
Yeah, I saw like a bunch of Netflix stars are going to be there, like the Hand from the Addams Family and the Usos from WWE.
As always, when baseball comes back, we like to say,
Welcome back.
and I would like to say, welcome back to the LA Dodgers and their obnoxious salary cap once again.
Welcome back.
I'd win stuff too if I had unlimited money. Welcome back to dads all across North America being jealous of Major League grass.
Welcome back.
I'd also like to say welcome back to that beautiful sound of hearing a bat crack and you just know it's going yard.
Welcome
So
back.
gorgeous.
Dude, it's the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the ice cold
Welcome back.
beer.
Also, on top of that, umpires making strikeout sounds like they're bench pressing or squatting.
Welcome back.
Oh, man. Also, just welcome back to the Toronto Blue Jays being in control of everyone's mood for the next 6 months.
Welcome back.
Also, I mean, welcome back, Jays fans eating an obnoxious amount of hot dogs this year.
Hell yeah, baby.
You know they're going to break that record again.
Welcome back.
Major League Baseball is back, so welcome back to all the crotch scratching your eyes can handle.
Welcome back.
Also, welcome back to someone testing positive for some sort of steroid at some point this year.
Welcome back.
It is rather inevitable.
Also, welcome back to some pitcher's elbow just combusting while he throws a pitch with the old Tommy John.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to hating a dude in a mask you've never met before like he punched your dog.
Welcome back.
We do have robots to actually thank for not
That's true.
hating them as much this year. So
Well, no, that's just going to make me hate them more when the robot has to step in and be like, you suck.
valid point. And final one here, I'd like to say welcome back to Vladimir Guerrero pretending like he doesn't know English when he plays bad.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
It's a great trick. I like it.
We all know he knows how to say the Yankees lose,
Yeah,
but when the
yeah.
Jays lose, all of a sudden there's some guy that's going to speak for him.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that in my relationship.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Scientists have apparently discovered what age children start becoming cunning little liars.
Why does that sound like it was a study written by an angry grandma?
As a parent, would you like to take a guess at what age kids become cunning little liars?
I feel like my kids first started to dabble in lying at around 6 years old.
It is lower than that.
Lower than 6? Damn, I raised them right, I guess. 4?
Just a little bit lower.
3 years old?
3 years old is when they say kids become cunning little liars. This was a study conducted by researchers from the University of Bristol in the UK, and they say that they found around a quarter of children start to understand deception by the age of just 10 months. And they say the proportion rises to around half by the age of 17 months. Then by the age of 3, kids become more proficient, creative, and frequent fabricators, according to the findings.
I mean, it does make sense. Even you see babies, is every now and again they'll do the old alligator tears, right? Start crying, and parents go into freak out mode, like, oh my God, you've been fed, you've been changed, what's wrong? And then you pick them up and right away they're just like, ah.
Well, what's the one thing a lot of people say is don't react to the kid.
Yeah.
If you ignore the kid when they cry, they'll shut up, right?
They'll be fine. Yeah. They start doing it for attention, and then the more that works, the more that their brain starts to go, hey, this is something we should look into.
Based on the analyzing responses that they got from various parents across the UK, they actually did this at the University of Waterloo here in Canada as well. They say that there are 16 different types of deception, and by the age of 3, children start to understand and engage in more types of deception, which often involves a deeper understanding of language and how other people's minds work.
So there you go. If you've been having trouble, if you're a parent and you've been going through it lately, this is just more proof that it's not your fault. Those damn kids are lying to you.
You know what the biggest problem I have with kids lying? It isn't moral. It's just how bad they are at lying that it's downright insulting sometimes.
Honest to God, my kids, I've told them before, I was like, listen, not only should you not lie to me because it's the wrong thing to do, but also you suck at it. And I see through it every time.
It's this borderline of being bad at lying and then being way too honest at the same time, you know? There's a fine line right there and they don't know it.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Spring break for the college kids in the States is going on right now, and police in Florida are actually threatening to arrest spring breakers for over-the-top twerking.
Now, I guess my question would be, and it's with any of these laws or bylaws where it's like an opinion, what is over-the-top twerking? How much ass can you throw before you're getting a ticket?
So apparently to the kids who have been partying up in Daytona Beach, they say that the Florida Fish and Wildlife have yelled at them, no twerking, you will be charged with disorderly conduct, mainly because there's been a lot of incidents over the past week or so of people getting into fights and stuff like that. And I guess they're claiming that the twerking is kind of
the catalyst for it?
Engaging that behavior?
Or are people actually twerk fighting, like backing up at one another and trying to hit each other
Battle
with
butts?
cheeks?
Yeah.
I would watch that show a heartbeat.
I guarantee you somebody's already thought of it. If we've thought of it here, somebody on the internet has most definitely thought of it. They're kind of going with like a whole Footloose-esque kind of thing here.
Yeah.
And the sheriff actually came out of Daytona Beach where he said it's not inherently against the law unless it becomes lewd or if there's a noise or ordinance complaint.
I mean, yeah, sometimes you clap them cheeks too loud and everybody's got a problem all of a sudden.
I just love the idea of an officer being like, I said get down on the ground, not break it down.
Get low.
Get her. She's got the apple bottom jeans.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is Brock and Dalby's $15,000 big bag of cash.
Will you keep what you got or take another shot?
All right, we have got Sandra on the line. Sandra, how the heck you doing this morning?
Very good. Thank you. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. We've given away over $1,600 this week so far. We're hoping to keep that roll going here. Are you feeling lucky?
Yes.
All right. Short, sweet, simple. I like it. Brock has said that he's got the vibe that we can get to like 7 vaults today. Do you have a strategy before we start? Is there a number of vaults or a number of cash that you're kind of looking at?
No, I'm just going to play it by ear.
Okay, I like it. Well,
big vibe, Sandra.
First vault is guaranteed. You ready to open it?
Yes, sir.
Let's see what we got.
$100.
$100.
Basic start. We've said this before.
But that's not enough, is it, Sandra?
No, we're going to go again.
Okay, let's see what's in vault number 2.
$200.
Double it up. $200.
Is that enough?
I'm going to go all in.
Okay.
Going all in. I love it.
I love it. Push the chips in. Let's open up vault number 3.
$300.
I'm noticing a pattern here. $300.
Let's go all in again.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely, Sandra. Let's push it, baby.
$400.
Okay, we're at $400 now.
Okay. Vault 4, 400.
I'm going to try one more time.
All right.
I have a theory about what this vault's going to be.
Let's see what's in vault number 5 here.
$500.
Okay, yeah, that confirms my theory. $500.
$500. Now, I said, I think we can get to 7 here this morning. Do you trust me?
I'm not sure.
You know what? That's fair. Honestly, that's fair.
It's up to you.
Would you rather Wednesday?
It's $500 versus Brock's gut feeling that maybe there's more in Vault 6.
I got a feeling like the Black Eyed Peas, but you don't have to trust me on this.
Okay. We're going to try one more.
Yes.
Ooh,
Okay.
Sandra.
Okay. I'm sorry in advance if this doesn't work out, okay? You made the decision. Here we go.
$600.
There we go. $600. The streak continues.
$600. All right, now, Sandra. Do you trust me enough to open up one more vault or no?
I'm going to stick.
You're going to stick?
I'm going to take the money and run.
Okay,
Yeah,
going to take the money and run.
Yeah.
$600 though, that's all right.
That's a great
That's
start
pretty
to your
damn
day.
good. That's really good.
All right, $600 is yours, Sandra. Now, let's see if my gut feeling was right.
That's right. You had predicted 7. We have to open up the vaults until we find out what the empty one was. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's see what was in vault number 7 here.
$700.
Your intuition was right, Brock. $700 sitting in Vault 7, Sandra.
Okay, well, you still got 600. Let's see what's in vault number 8.
$800.
$800. Could have had 800, Sandra. Any regrets?
No, I'm happy with 6.
All right, do you think there's anything in vault number 9? What's your prediction here?
I think that one's going to bust.
The intuition is spot on. That's crazy. Vault 9, the empty vault. So you got to $600. You only lost, I don't even want to say lost, left behind $200.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, well, you gambled and it paid off here this morning. What are you going to do with that $600, Sandra?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, Sandra, I bet
I'm
you're
not
going to
sure.
party. You sound like
maybe
somebody
I'll put
parties.
gas in my car. Maybe I'll put gas in my car.
Now that's a party.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It seems like everybody has a side hustle nowadays to make some extra coin.
Everything's too expensive for your one job to pay all the bills.
This is really cringy that people are paying this girl, but there's a girl in Las Vegas who's apparently making really good money where she goes to concerts like Stuff at the Sphere or whatever.
Okay.
And people will pay her to take photos and send it to them so they can post it on their social media to then act like they went to the concert.
For the clout of saying I was at this Backstreet Boys concert?
Legit.
Gross.
Yeah.
Not her. Honestly, that's the kind of entrepreneurial spirit that drives capitalism. Like, good for her for finding a market to make money.
Well, we live in this world where, and I mean, I'm guilty of it. Everybody goes to a show and you want to brag. You want to say that you went to things. I mean, that's all social media is. It's creating this idea of how cool your life is, right?
I'm so amazing. Look at all the wild adventures I get up to. I was at the Sphere.
But such a genius idea, especially if you love going to concerts. People are going to pay you to go to concerts just to send them photos?
Well, even you're saying like she's got a side hustle where she goes to the Sphere, but we've seen the price of tickets for those shows. They're crazy. The only way that you can go to those shows is if you find a bunch of mooks willing to buy your ticket for you.
And I've seen other stuff like this before. Like there's people that will make like fake versions of a private jet, just the inside. So you can take a photo and make it look like you travel on a PJ or whatever, right?
It's such a cringe thing to do. Like, first of all, flexing that you're on a private jet does not mean what it used to. Me and you could go rent one for an hour right now if we wanted to. But there's no coming back from people finding out that you're using like cardboard and construction paper to make it look like the window of a private jet.
I feel like everything you see on social media is fake, but I wish like, I don't know if there's anybody who wants to send me to more concerts. I totally do this.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think of like other ways that you could spin this to make some loot like that, man.
I mean, first thing that comes to my mind is if you got free time during the day, you don't mind just popping down to like an ER waiting room or like a clinic waiting room or something like that.
Yeah.
Snapping pictures, not of people, but just of the general environment. For people who are trying to call in sick.
I swear people did that during the pandemic where they were selling photos of their positive COVID tests to people to get off of work.
Like, hey, man, I cannot come in. Look at them 2 lines.
I mean, maybe I'll just start taking pictures whenever there's accidents in town or traffic or whatever. Honestly, you could just start like a Facebook group of like post your accidents and traffic reports.
Right.
That way people could have an excuse on why they're late to work or they can't make it to things.
Traffic is a nightmare. But also even on just like the idea of social media clout posting, just sending people pictures of bad parking. Go park your car over the line in like a Walmart parking lot, take a picture of it, and then give it to people to post in those groups that everybody loves to post on.
Yeah.
And then they get all the likes and they feel good.
You know what? I bet you there was times in your life where you were playing sports and you wished your old man had showed up, right?
Yeah, he could have come to a soccer game or two, sure.
Hit me up. If you're a deadbeat dad and you don't go to your kids' sporting events, I will go and I will take pictures of your kids playing hockey or soccer. And then your kids will be like, Dad, you said you were going to be there. And then you can send them a photo and be like, I was there. Look at this. This is right before you scored that goal in the second period. You can get the pleasure of your kids thinking you're a good dad, and I can go to some more concerts.
Or you could just be a good dad. That's also an option.
Hey. Deadbeat dads shape people, do they not?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Have you seen that Netflix is like getting hard into the podcast game recently?
Yeah.
Added a bunch of podcasts, including Spit and Chicklets, the big hockey podcast. Although they just had Brock Lesnar on as their
probably a
big guest.
WWE tie. Then
Absolutely. Yeah, Netflix is really good at like getting their stars on different shows that are on the brand. I did think it was interesting though. You know, Brock Lesnar has that very, I guess I would call it iconic, although I wouldn't call it great, the dagger tattoo on his chest.
Oh, like the big sword down the middle of his stomach?
He's been getting made fun of that for a couple decades now. Well, the Spit and Chicklets guys were talking about it like it was pretty cool. And he told the story about how he ended up getting it. Listen to this.
There was a tattoo shop across the street from the biker bar. That's not a good place to have a tattoo shop. All right. But anyway, I got this tattoo. I didn't even know I got the damn thing. I wake up the next day and I'm like, what in the is this thing?
Oh my God.
Well, at least it's subtle. At least it's not on your face.
Yeah. But the meaning behind it was I felt like my back was against the wall and somebody had a sword, a knife stuck to my throat. Like, what are you going to do now? You know what I mean? So that's, I walked over there and I said, yeah, let's put a big ass ugly sword on my chest.
You know what I like about that story is he's got two things that I feel like everybody that has tattoos have. They have a BS meaning on why they have the tattoo.
Yeah.
And then he's got a drunk tattoo story.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, he's saying in the same breath that he went over there drunk. He's telling these guys in the interview, he's like, I don't remember getting it done. I remember waking up the next morning and going, what the hell is this? And yet he can remember the meaning behind it. Also, I love the idea This man is like in his 20s, multi-millionaire WWE star in the middle of trying out for an NFL team. He's like, man, I just felt like someone had a sword to my throat.
I will never make fun of anyone's tattoo decisions because my very first tattoo was drunk in Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. Have I never told you this?
I know you've got a lot of tattoos. I've never heard the drunk one.
Hammered drunk in Vegas at 22. Me and my stepbrother there, we both skateboarded, and we were both like, man, we got to get tattoos.
Oh,
I was like, what was your first skateboard? And I was like, World Industries. And he's like, mine was World Industries too. And I remember that conversation, and then I remember waking up the next morning in the hotel and seeing this big thing wrapped around my leg, and we both got the skateboard logo tattooed on us. So, I mean, got the same story as him, got a stupid story and a hammered drunk one, too.
Well, the good news about yours, though, is that yours isn't on your chest and you don't work in an industry where you are almost always shirtless.
Sure. I do feel like if you have tattoos, 100%, you have to have one that you regret. There is no way if you have a bunch of tattoos that everything came out perfect.
Well, I have the one. I don't have a drunk tattoo. I've always been sober, but I do have the one that I thought would have been so cool.
The one that's supposed to be the wrestling ropes?
Yeah. I wanted to commemorate my wrestling career, so I got 3 ring ropes tattooed around my wrist, and then all of a sudden people started asking me if I was self-harming.
I remember the first time I saw it, I thought you just let your kids draw on you with like pen or something.
Yeah, he wasn't the best tattoo artist, to be honest.
That's the thing, is people either have tattoos that they think have meaning that have either lost their meaning, or it was like you were just bored, or it was cheap.
Yeah, the ring rope one was a freebie.
The freebie.
It was a guy
freebie tattoos are the worst.
He liked my radio show and he was like, let me give you some ink, brother. No, you can take it back.
Everybody likes to act like their tattoo has a story, and sometimes, you know what that story is? We make poor decisions.
Sometimes that story is, I'm an idiot.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We were talking tattoo regret stories. We got someone on the line. You got a good tattoo regret tattoo story? You got a good bad tattoo story for us?
Yeah, we were up in Wasaga Beach, me and my ex-wife, we got a little hammered. We were up at Wasaga Beach, so she wanted to put my nickname across her tailbone.
What's your nickname?
Benny, Benny. And I've always thought, though, well, since we split up and she's had what I'm guessing is multiple partners, that's a conversation piece right there.
Yeah, it's tough to try and come up with a new story about who Benny is every time.
Just loved eggs, Benny. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great place for some holiday sauce. I think that's like one of the number one things is a lot of tattoo artists won't even do names or anything like that anymore.
It's just there's so much room for regret. Even things like initials. We had somebody text in and say that they got a tattoo of, remember Tank Girl, the comic character / movie character? They got a tattoo of her, and then on Tank Girl got his ex's initials.
Oh.
It's like, even something like that where like, you can just say that like, oh, that's just part of the character, and most people don't know Tank Girl.
I feel like you got to be married for like 30 plus years before you get a name on yourself. You know?
Even then, we see so many stories in the news about like late couples like finding out something tragic about each other and going your separate ways.
Yeah.
And then you're just stuck with it forever.
The
man.
wedding ring one is another like bad move, I think, too.
I get the wedding ring one. Like if you work somewhere where like jewelry
I get it, but
is
it's
a hazard.
still so many people I've come across that it's like, are you married? And they're like, no, I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing off.
I also saw a text that we got from Eric at 762-555 that said that I got drunk with my ex-fiance and let her tattoo a big snake on my calf.
Oh my God.
And that's another one. Like you hear these stories of, oh, I know somebody who has a tattoo gun and we were having some drinks and that's how I ended up with my first tattoo. And it's rarely a story that's told with pride.
I was very interested. I actually looked up, I said, what is the tattoo regret rate on Google? Apparently, 1 in 4 regret rate, 24% of Americans with tattoos at least regret one of their tattoos, which seems kind of low.
That's definitely people lying to either the reporter, the surveyor, or themselves.
This one is kind of believable, though. They say those who get tattooed before age 21 face a 38% regret rate.
Yeah, that's the thing. I knew I wanted tattoos from like the age of 15, 16.
But the things that you thought were cool when you were younger are most definitely not cool anymore.
Dude, I remember when I was in high school, I was going to get a tattoo of the Eye of Ra, this like Egyptian glyph.
I thought you were going to say like Monday Night Raw or something.
No. Buddy, if you'd have given me the opportunity at like 16, 17, I might have done that too.
I'm always so paranoid because I've got like 3 or 4 different band tattoos and I'm like, please don't get canceled. Please don't get canceled. Please don't get canceled.
That's the other thing. Like even, some of the stuff I've got on my tattoos, like TV shows, movies, stuff like that. If anything ever happens, I think about that all the time of the guy who got our logo tattooed on his back. What if we get canceled? Now that guy's just walking around with that for the rest of his life.
Is there something that you want to tell me here?
I'm more worried about you, brother.
I'm worried about you. You're the one bringing it up.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We've got $100 in Lotto 649 tickets on the line for excuses.
So what's your f***ing excuse?
And today it's getting personal as, unfortunately, Dalby's dad left when he was a young man.
Yeah.
Never got a reason. So we're wondering, what is Dalby's dad's excuse for bailing?
Right. And some people have texted in like, this is mean. This is good. You have my blessing. This is hilarious. I cannot wait to hear the answers.
It's funny and we're getting closure this morning.
Exactly. That's right. One of these voice memos might heal me on the inside.
All right. If you are not Dalby's dad, that does mean you are a judge. So 762-555. Judge accordingly. Which one of Dalby's dads has the best excuse here this morning?
It's so much worse that I don't just have one deadbeat dad. Now I've got dozens.
All right. We'll start off with Alex here.
Well, baby boy Dalby, this is your father speaking. The reason why I left is they had a 2-for-1 sale down at the Costco in the big city. And we need to bulk up for the winter time. But don't you worry, I'll be back.
Is that why you love Costco so much?
That might be why I'm obsessed with Costco hot dogs. I just keep going back hoping to find the old man in the food court.
All right. Here's one from Travis.
So this is Travis. And, well, kid, sometimes these things just happen.
That's the whole thing. Why'd your dad? Hey, these things happen.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That one actually might feel the most realistic.
All right, we got Jake here.
Hey, Dalby, you asked why I left all those years ago. Actually, I gotta go do something. I'll be right back.
He left again. This is traumatic.
Sometimes not having an excuse is the best excuse. All right, we've got one of our fan favorites, Lynn, here.
I really did go out for milk, Dalby, and these people grabbed me and threw me in a box and shipped me off to some godforsaken place. And I woke up in this woman's basement, and she said there was a sign that said, "Do not return to sender."
My dad was kidnapped.
That sounds like something a deadbeat dad would say.
Honestly, yeah. It's not my fault, man. There was ninjas, and it was crazy.
All right, we'll do a few more here.
Hey, Dalb. Dad. Car broke down on the way to work one day. I ended up in BC. I've been so high ever since. Can't remember my way home.
Doesn't your dad live in BC?
It's also high a lot from my understanding. That might actually be true.
All right, that could actually be his dad reaching out here. Okay, 2 more.
So this is Roger, Dalby's dad, and the reason why I never came back, those meat sweats, I'll be honest.
Even at a young age, he thinks I had meat sweats to the point where it chased off the old man. Won't be coming back, he says. Just to double down.
At least your dad's listening to the show.
If my actual dad listened to the show, it would be devastating for him.
All right, final one here.
And Drew, your father left because he didn't want you to know that he's the world reigning champion of hide and seek, and he's been taking the competition very seriously.
Hide and seek champ.
Oh, good for him.
All right, 762-555. Which one of Dalby's dad had the best excuse? I am a big fan of the meat sweats one.
The meat sweats one was good. I'm not gonna lie, the one that just said sometimes things happen like that was also very funny in its simplicity.
Do you want to leave it up to the text line, or since this is your dad, do you want to pick?
No, listen, I didn't have a say in whether he actually came back. I don't feel like I should have a say in this either.
What's the text line looking like, Dalby?
The one that straight up said these things happen is the text that I see. The guy that just hung up is another one. Yeah, honestly, the one that feels the most like my dad is the one that didn't.
These things happen?
That didn't put the effort into coming up with
This is Travis, and, well, you know, kid, sometimes these things just happen.
All right, Travis, a.k.a. Dalby's dad, you get the ding. And the round of applause, $100 in Lotto 649 tickets. Do you feel better this morning?
I do. I am going to start calling him Ken just because Travis is now my dad. Sorry, you didn't realize you get the lottery tickets, but you also now have some responsibilities.
And if your dad goes, why don't you call me dad? Go, these things just happen.
These things just happen.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast. Would you rather Wednesday? Would you rather Wednesday?
All right, let's get weird. 762-555. First one in here says, would you rather find a dead body in your backyard or find out your house is haunted by ghosts?
Ooh.
I mean, wouldn't it be both if you had the dead body?
Well, not necessarily. There might be a body out there, but the spirit has moved on. Maybe had some closure or whatever, so it's already gone.
I guess I'm thinking of the movie Poltergeist.
Right, yeah. You know what? I feel like I would rather the house be haunted because I feel like having a body in the backyard is going to affect the property value.
Oh, I like the way you're thinking, because if you have a haunted house, there's a market for that.
Yeah.
You could maybe even turn it into a bed and breakfast.
Although, now that I think of it, isn't there some loophole where if you have enough bodies in your backyard, you can declare it a cemetery and save on taxes? Is that a thing?
I'm not sure about that.
I feel like I read that somewhere, and maybe one body's not enough.
I was going to say one body is enough.
You just put a little gravestone over the body in the backyard, then you apply to the city and be like, I would like to not pay property taxes anymore. That's... maybe that works out.
One way of looking at it. Would you rather every time you yawn, a baby dies, or every time you pee, the breadwinner of a family explodes? Jeez Louise, that's dark.
I guess I did say let's get weird.
Yawn or pee?
I feel like I pee more than I yawn, so I guess maybe it would be less destructive if I had the yawn thing, but also... your conscience would be awfully riddled with guilt if you knew every time you got sleepy, you killed a baby.
Yeah, but you're killing someone regardless.
Well, yeah, either way, I'm probably not living a good life.
At least with the yawn thing, maybe it might make you actually catch up on getting a better sleep.
When you started to feel tired, you'd be more inclined to take a nap versus committing genocide.
Yeah, the pee thing, maybe eat the rich?
Well, it just says breadwinner.
Oh, yeah. It
just doesn't necessarily
say... doesn't mean that they're rich, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. There's not a good answer here.
No, that's a tough one.
I don't want to go on the record saying either one.
Yeah. Classic politician.
Would you rather burp colored clouds or fart colored clouds?
Oh, I think burp is more like, what a fun magic trick I can do. I can make myself burp on command in little clouds of, colorful smoke versus you ever been somewhere and you have to fart?
And you're trying to do it sneaky?
You're trying to keep it on the down low. Hard to do that if all of a sudden it's the rainbow coming out of your crack.
Yeah, you got the Batman pow coming out of your butt.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is does this colored cloud have some effect on my clothes? Am I staining my underwear every time I fart? Is it looking like a rainbow on the inside?
Yeah.
My gitch is just looking like a bag of Skittles was in there. That looks awful.
All right, final one here. Would you rather wake up naked in a forest 5 miles from your home or in your underwear at work?
Oh, give me the forest. You got to see those people again. If I wake up in the office in my underwear, it is my last day at the job, whether by their decision or mine.
But you also got to think about it. If you're waking up in the middle of the forest and then you walk out, people are still going to see you. You might get arrested for indecent exposure.
Well, I think indecent exposure implies that you're doing it on purpose. I think you could just tell the police hey, I am in trouble.
Nobody's going to believe you.
No one's going to believe you that you ended up in the forest naked? I think that it's more likely that this was planned?
At least at work, you could be maybe I have a lawsuit on my hands.
Well, until they pull out the security footage and find out you just got real drunk last night and came into the office in your underpants.
True. Also, just being in the middle of the forest, you don't know what's out there.
No, it's more dangerous to be out in the forest, for sure. But I think I'd rather be naked and eaten by a bear than sitting in front of HR in my gitch.
I mean, nobody's at our work anyway when we're up, so.
That's true,
If I'm waking up at work at the studio in the time that I'm supposed to be there, I think I'm good. The only person that's going to see me naked is you.
Yeah, if you're the only one that has to see me in my underwear, that's your problem, not mine.
And I'm weirdly comfortable with that.
Want to be part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.